we get es ihnen.
Yeah, so this is formal version, formal way of speaking. Formal way of speaking means here, Vaishnavi, is basically there are two ways of speaking in German. Okay, one is basically like tum when you know the other person, and one is like आप when you are when somebody is elder or somebody you do not know that well, like in office setting and all.
Okay.
No, so I'm explaining that in all the like in the first and second video. You can watch it later. So formal is the we get as ihnen. That is richtig. What we get as ihnen means how is it? This is basically greetings. How is it going with you? You're getting this, Pallav? We get as ihnen.
Yeah.
Huh? What is the answer of this? We get as ihnen.
Danke und ihnen.
Danke. Yeah.
Und
First, but
dank.
mhm.
No, first we say good or es geht mir gut.
Okay, danke. Es geht mir gut. Und dir. Und ihnen, Entschuldigung. Auch. Danke. So Vaishnavi, this is basically greetings in formal communication. How is it going with you? The person is saying,
Okay.
of course, you're supposed to say first thank you. Danke, which is danke. Es geht mir gut means it is going very good with me. And आपके साथ कैसा चल रहा है? Then the other person is saying, auch gut means this sentence auch means also good. Thank you.
Okay.
How is it going with you? This you is आप in German, in Deutsch, not like a political party, but Hindi आप. Sorry, this is the answer, no? It is going good with me. That was for the first one. How's it going with you? Klar? Ein bisschen, a bit of it. So you remember yesterday, and what else did we do, guys? Like, so we did this, and how is the informal look? Informal looks like this, right? We get this dear. And you say danke again. Danke, of course, sehr gut. Und dear. Dear. Again, you can say au gut. Danke if it's going good with you, or you can say es geht. Es geht means it is going, yeah. Like, I mean, nothing great, nothing bad. Es geht, danke.
I had a doubt because in English it is a little more clearer for me. Okay. But here we get is dear. Okay. So how are you? So sehr gut und du it should be or dear.
Dear. So guys, let's not translate. I mean, look, you remember, we can't translate everything literally in English because English doesn't have as many words as German. So, I mean, it's a limited language. I mean, of course, it can have, but like this German text that we are seeing here is a very old text, right? So this makes more sense with English when English was like, I think, where art thou? Something like that, like you remember English. I mean, of course, we don't remember, but English was written like something like this, like the very old text, right? So in case we translate, we have to translate our German into this. So that is why, since English has been modified, it doesn't make sense. I mean, we can come close to it. We can come close to it. Let's say I can tell you the meaning of that in English if you're getting stuck. But you need to remember the German part. You can't remember the English part and then translate it back into German and make a sentence, right? Because right now this do is do. Yeah? You remember, like if you actually look at this, if you literally translate this into German, then it makes sense. Wer bist du? You know, you see both the texts are quite similar, right? Now, can you see the first language is English? The first language is actually English here. Old English, basic, like the first, the very old text. And what is the second language here? German.
Deutsch.
Yeah, so here it makes more sense, no, translating this. But now the modern English that we know, all of us, it says, "Who are you?" It's kind of impossible to translate this into this, right? So I can tell you, of course, this meaning, right? Of course, I will tell you that. Like, please don't think that I won't translate. But you need to remember this text majorly. Because if you remember this text, what will happen is when you will come back to German, right? And then let's say you've translated this text into English. Then when you will come back to German, right? There is a very high possibility that you might miss out on one word or two, and then it will change the entire sentence. So there here is a kind of predicate form of do, Joyce. That we will learn later. Right now, you can just remember this by heart, guys. Now, if it's dear only, okay, not do. Do is when you ask somebody directly a question, like wie heißt du, right? The answer is ich heiße Gaurav. How are you called?
That's what there what I got confused. That when we say ish we highs do and then we get is dear. I mean what was the difference that I did not get? So I asked you. That
It's
was
okay.
the
You can
only
ask. You
thing.
can ask me. So you can ask me unlimited questions. Fine. Don't. Okay,
Yeah.
guys. You can ask anything. Yeah. Now, because right now I can't explain this. Like because I have to explain you dative then. So that this we will clarify in the at a later stage why it is not do, why it is there. Right now we just need to learn these sentences in like only these sentences, guys. Okay, like this much. Just learn this by heart right now. Like this these ones, and after that I will explain you when we will declassify the grammar. Then I will explain you why it is changing. So yeah. So Vaishnavi, this is how you ask names informally. We heist to. Say it after
Okay,
me
okay,
once.
sir.
We heist to.
We has do.
Pallav, we heist to.
Ich bin Pallav. Wie
Ishbin,
heißt du?
Ishbin Pallav. So you can answer it either. So let's say Pallavi, I'm asking, Vaishnavi, I'm asking you. We heist to.
Ish has
Vaishnavi.
Vaishnavi. Okay.
Heisen means the word, this beta sign that I'm writing here, the dollar sign is actually a beta sign, okay, which you see in
Okay.
different keyboard. It means nothing but double S. Okay, so this is pronounced as sa. Heisen is a verb. The meaning of that verb is to be called. I am called Vaishnavi. When I say Ish Haisa Gaurav, it means I am Ish. You know the context, right? Where bist du? Ishbin Gaurav again. Where bist du is who are you? Okay, so where means who. Ishbin. Where bist du, Pallav?
Ich bin Pallav.
Where bist du, Vaishnavi?
Ish bin Vaishnavi.
Wie heißen Sie, Joyce?
Ich heiße Joyce.
Mhm. Nachname. Ne? Ich heiße Joyce.
Ich heiße Joyce Ofar.
And so this is a formal way of asking, guys, right? Remember,
Or do you want me to say
that is okay. Last name.
Frau? How is it?
No, no, no. You can't, as a first person, you can't call yourself Rao. You can't say, I am Lady Gopal. So for as a first person, you can just say your name, but the first and the last name. Like if I ask, hello, guten Tag, wie heißen Sie? Yeah, you'll say, as a first person, you guys speak like how you speak informal and formal is the same thing. But as a first person, you will say both the names. Ich heiße Gaurav Raghuvanshi. Then in formal way, you say we get a scene. That was the formal, informal. You remember, guys, we learned Vaishali, do you know what is a verb basically?
Like English meaning.
Yeah, yeah. Verb is same in all the languages, so the meaning will be same, guys. Grammar is almost here. English meaning, yes. Love
To do something properly.
to do something is a verb, right? Vaishnavi?
Like it is a word that is used to show like goes,
Mhm.
going.
So the definition of verb is any activity is a verb, right? Any activity. Let's say teaching is a verb because it's an activity. Cooking is a verb. English may, in English, what we usually do is we learn the verbs at times in present continuous, right? Especially Indians. We
Yes.
Indians do that a lot, right? Now I say, hey, I'm cooking. I'm cooking on Wednesday. You see, like there is a difference at times. Like people usually say, oh, I am cooking, I will cook on Wednesday, right? Or if you see old classic, correct me if I'm wrong here, though. I think when you read old classic English books also, I think in most of them they talk in not present continuous. They talk like, I walk in the park, right? Like not I am walking in
Mhm.
the park. Sometimes
Yes.
like this. Anyway, so any activity is a verb. Now, let's say whenever you find the meaning of a verb in on Google or any dictionary, what does it say? It say to cook, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, playing, of course, they simplify the meaning and write after that, not just the different tense of the different form of the verb. So cooking is present continuous, playing is present continuous. What is this to cook and to play? What form? What is this? This called in linguistic term, the grammar term? Infinitive, Joyce?
Infinite.
Tired, sleepy?
Yes. Infinitive.
Infinitive, no? Pallav? Infinitive, right?
Mm.
What
No,
is
I don't know what
infinitive?
infinite.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So basically, infinitive, I mean, you just need to remember it like this. Infinitive is basically uh, a present tense form of the,
Base form.
no? A present tense unconjugated form of the verb. Let's add, let's simplify the meaning. I mean, it may not make 100% sense. A present tense unconjugated form of a verb, which is like in English, it is to cook, to play, to sing, right? This is how the verb looks in present tense in English. Getting it, guys?
Yes.
Yes. Sir.
Now, in German, yesterday we did, how were we learning the verb heißen, kommen, wohnen, right? In German, this is how my infinitive look. This is how my infinitive look. What is the meaning of infinitive, guys? If you can read it louder.
A present tense conjugative form of verb.
Unconjugated.
Present tense conjugate.
Unconjugative, sorry.
Mhm. So, of course, the meaning is same. Like if you see Hyson, what is common among all these words? Hyson, common, wonen,
En.
En.
en, right? This is, and if you guys remember, what do we call them in like a verb? A word has two parts, right? One is the verb stem, which is the main part of the verb, or main part. A word has two words. Verb stem means stem of the verb or the word, and then it has an ending, which is Endung.
Enjoy.
Endung in German. Endung. What is the common thing among all of these here, guys? What is the
Ending.
ending,
Ending.
which is en, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the common part among all of these verbs. Endung is en. And verb stem. Verb stem is the most important part. So verb stem is of course different here, right? So for Hyson we have Heis. For common we have
Com.
Form.
com. For wonen we have
One.
One.
won. Why are we learning this? What is conjugation, guys? Verb conjugation. Never forget this heading, okay? Anyone ask you to conjugate a verb? So in Indo-European languages, Indo-Germania languages, as they call it, this process is the most important part of learning a language. Like in you must have seen this in Sanskrit, Hindi, मैं करता हूँ, आप करते हैं, हम सभी करते हैं,
Yes.
something like this, right? So you make a table. No, in Sanskrit also, me karto, tumi karto, and Marathi also has this, right? Very important part, because why do we learn this? Because it changes for almost every pronoun differently. In English, it doesn't change. In English, you say I work, you work, she works. So you basically don't make a table for anything. But in Indo-Germanian languages, like in French, you do this. In German, you do this. I'm sure in Spanish also you do this. And you know, in all our Indian languages, a person does it. So let's say we learned three verbs yesterday, Hyson. What was the meaning of Hyson, guys?
To be called.
To be called. Then common, right? Then what was it?
One.
Wonen. Meaning of common?
To come.
Let's not write it there, translate it. Let's have that in the back of our head, okay? So common, what does it mean, Vaishali? If you can uh, roughly guess.
Vaishnavi, sir. Vaishnavi.
Sorry, Vaishnavi. Common,
Mm.
to come.
Okay.
Wonen is to live. Of course, to live in, to come from. I come from MP.
And
I live in Pune, something like that. What else did we learn yesterday, guys? Personal pronomen. Pronoun. What is a pronoun, Vaishnavi?
noun that is having
A pronoun is, let's say, when we have
like
already,
pronoun.
like I,
Have a
you.
noun. Yes.
Like pronoun as a noun? No, no, no. I, you. So let's say if I am speaking to you, Entschuldigung, if I'm speaking to you, I will always call myself I, right? I.
Yes.
I am Gaurav. I study and, I teach, blah, blah, blah. And I will call you, you. So these are pronouns. Of course, it has more detailed definition in those videos, okay, that we did yesterday. So now we have learned so far three pronouns. Ish, do. Do means you, for informal you, which is kind of, okay, so I, ish is the first person. Okay, always. Whenever I am speaking, I will always call myself ish. I am Gaurav. Only one possibility. I am Gaurav. I ish comma. Do is, let's say, Pallav, I know you now. I am speaking to you. This is me. This is you. We are single. I am speaking directly to you. I'm going to call myself ish. I'm going to call you do. This is informal. Yeah. If the vice versa, you will call yourself ish. You will call me do. Huh? Now let's say Pallav. Now let's learn another pronoun, guys, today. Er. Z. Er means he. Z means she. Er means he. She means Z.
Mm.
Vaishali, are you getting confused here a bit? Sorry, Vaishnavi.
Er means he,
Mhm. And Z
and
means she.
she. Okay.
Who's a third person here, guys?
He and she.
He and she, right? Whenever you hear a name, right? So let's say I am talking about das ist Paul. Paul kommt aus China. Will I write Paul again? Does it sound good? I keep using Paul. No, right?
No.
What do I have to use instead? Air,
Er.
air.
Right.
Now, instead of calling it air, that you might get confused, or you can pronounce it as a little you can pronounce this word as air, air,
Er.
air. Er kommt aus,
Yeah.
Er.
er kommt aus China, er kommt aus oder er wohnt in Pune. Now let's say I have Joyce. Das ist, help me out, guys. Das ist Joyce. What will be the pronoun?
Sie kommt aus Pune.
Sie kommt aus China or Indien. Sie wohnt in Pune. We had another Z, right? Can you tell me something? Take a guess also, okay, Vaishali? Now I am like, sorry, Vaishnavi. Yeah. Now, take a guess, all of you. Is this Z, the capital one?
Small Z.
This is a small Z. Aap. This is aap of Hindi, okay? Hindi aap. This can be a second person. This can be a third person also, guys. Okay, you can also talk about third person in formal way, right? Not only the second person. I can call Joyce a aap, no? Like in Hindi. So is it you saying Pallav it is small z or small z? What do you think,
And
Vaishnavi?
for Joyce, it should be small C.
That's good. So this is what Pallav is saying. What do you think, Vaishnavi? What do you think, Joyce?
Since she is new, we can call her Z capital informal.
Hmm. Why? Because I can introduce her as a classmate, right? That's his Joyce. Only first name. You see? So I have to see this context. I don't need to see, like, I don't need to play with any scenario in my mind. I just have to see this. I don't have to translate also. I just need to see this sentence. Once I've seen this sentence, I don't care like what is it in English, what is it in which language. I know when he mentions somebody's first name, only first name, I know it is she, which is informal because he knows her. So now he's talking about this Z, right? Z compound. Now I am writing here this in capital letter. While speaking, it doesn't matter. You can't say like Z compound capital. While speaking, it doesn't matter, right? But as a context, I know which the person is saying. How do I know this? Because my verbs, my verbs here, like ist, kommt, won't, are getting conjugated according to what? This, the small z,
Third person, singular.
third person. And of course, if the sentence is beginning with a capital, sentence is beginning, I have to start the sentence with a capital letter, which is Z. So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Now, otherwise, if you don't figure out this by the context, I have to ask the other person, nahi, nahi, likh ke batao, which Z are you writing? Then I will be able to tell like it is capital or it is small. So you have to go from the context, not the. Now, important parts of Webstam, Webstam, Webstam. This entire process is called what, guys? Conjugating a verb, right?
Conjugation.
Conjugating a verb.
It's
Nice.
a conjugation.
Hi, sir. Now, if this Z, if I use this Z, guys, let's say I was using the capital Z, then what would have been the verb? Like, I mean, what form of the verb we would have used?
Infinitive form.
This is okay,
Com.
infinitive, but would it have been common?
Com.
Common. Common.
Common, right? Common. Now, I took the most important part of the verb that I call verb stam, which is heiß, which is which is won, right? You remember
Yes.
yesterday? No, so the reason behind doing this is all these verbs are basically common. 99% of the verbs will be ending with en. Okay, en, and they will look mostly like this. They will be like, they'll be ending with en. The most important part would be the verb stam, which is stem of the verb, and the endings. So these pronouns will have similar endings. So once you have conjugated, let's say 10 verbs thoroughly, you will see the pattern in almost all the verbs. Then the conjugation will become really easy. Right? This happened in all the other languages. If you recall, in school, we have done it. Like, let's say, like once you learn how to conjugate 5-10 verbs, it becomes easier. Now we will discuss the endings. Let's say now here com, common, won, 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 wonen. You see, ending, guys, ish,
Heißt.
ish, haisa. Do,
Heist.
heist. Now, Vaishali, sorry, she's gonna, now the name is also not there. It's Vaishnavi, right?
Yes, Vaishnavi.
Now the name is not there. So that's actually my bad. If I call somebody by some name, then I'm like wrong all lifelong. Sorry. Yeah. So Vaishnavi,
Yes.
can you please tell me if there is the beta sign or the dollar sign that I mentioned? What is what is that? Like, what does it mean actually?
It's double S.
Double S, right? So now let's say heist. I have to, the ending for do is mostly double S. So of course,
Yes.
double S is already there. I can't add another S. So I will just write T. Ich heiße, du heißt. Ich heiße, du heißt. RSZ heißt. Only T. So this is how the endings look, guys. Okay, so you write the stem of the verb, and this is how the endings look for ish. Can I say ish heist? Can I use like, can I speak like this? I just don't want to use heisa. I'm bored. I want to use ish heist. Can I say that?
Yes.
No,
Maybe yes.
no. Only I can only say according to the table. No, ish heisa. That is the only
It's
possibility I have. No, this is why the table. I can only say ish haisa. What will be the common part then? Ish, comma. Du kommst. Ich komme. Du kommst. Sie kommt. Sie I'm saying is S means it. Sie kommen. Now guys, you tell me. Ich
Oh no.
wohne. Du
I
Wants.
wohnst.
want.
Sie or sie
Want.
wohnt.
Want.
Klar? Now, when you say, let's say I say wohnt in Pune, this sentence literally means he lives
Hmm.
in Pune. If you want to go a little bit more, this sentence also means he is living in Pune. If you see, if you translate in English, if you translate in English like this, it is still okay. Why? Because you're not adding any extra word here, right? But let's say you translate that sentence into this form, which is also correct. He's living in Pune. What are you missing here? Or actually, what are you adding one more here?
ing
Ing, and you're also using two verbs here, right? Because you're
is
saying
yes.
present continuous. So what will happen later on when you will translate this in English? What people make mistakes as they say, ist wohnt in Pune, right? That doesn't make sense. You can't use two verbs like this in German. For now, you cannot use any two verbs together.
So
Especially
it does not have a continuous tense.
it has. So this
It has.
Air in Pune has both the meanings. You can either say he's living in Pune or he lives in Pune.
How will we understand that? Which meaning, which sentence the person is using, or which sentence we are using?
It's same. It means the same thing. So if I say I live in Pune, right? Or I am living in Pune, it's the same meaning,
Yes.
right? Like if I say, look, ich lerne Deutsch. You can also, if you want to, in English, if you want to, or if you want to make it more precise, then of course you can use time also, right? Like now, if you say, let's say, ich lerne Deutsch, this has two meanings in English. I'm learning German, like right now,
Hello.
I learn German. You want to make
Okay.
it more precise, you can say, ich lerne gerade Deutsch. That would mean I am learning right now the German. I am at the moment, or gerade Deutsch, I am learning right now. No? That we will come later on. Now, the reason why I am saying the meaning is same, okay, both, because I don't want this to happen, later on. Because what happens, you start using these, when you translate into English, you start using this ist again. So, and the rule, we have to follow the rule. You cannot use two German, two infinitive right now at the same time. Only with limited, okay, Joyce.
I had a tiring day today.
Yeah, same actually, but yeah, like let's one more hour, I guess. So come on, guys. Last one, last one.
No, that's fine.
So, I mean, when you will say this, right? Ich bin lernen. What happens is you will, when this makes this a complete catastrophe. When you say, I am learning, this means the same thing, but it doesn't make sense. Ich bin lernen is complete English, doesn't make sense. So you take that bin part out. No? Do not translate literally. Remember, once you remember the German part, try to repeat the German part more often as much as possible, so that you remember the German part and it makes a new memory in your mind rather than the English part. I know it's confusing right now, but See the guys. So ich komme. All good so far?
Yeah.
Do you remember the question by any chance that we did yesterday? Remember, woher kommst du? Wo wohnst du? Welche Sprachen
Expressions.
sprechen Sie? Now, German is a very precise language, okay? Like in English, to make it more precise, you add a preposition like where to, no? Where from, where are you coming from, where, right? Where are you coming from? That means, hey, where are you from? This means this, this means, sorry, way down. This means this, right? Where to, where from, where. It's added by a preposition though, right? If I just say where, it's almost same, no? In German, one word has all the meanings. Where to is wohin. You don't need to remember this right now. Where from is woher. Hey, woher kommst du? Woher? Wo. Wo is the only word which is about situated thing, located at one place. You can remember this by this circle or this bracket and a point. Circle and a point. That point is situated there. It is not moving anywhere. Right? When you are at somebody, sorry, when you're at some place, like you're not moving. If you're moving toward anything, what is it? The question becomes
Coming.
Wohin.
wohin. If you're coming from somewhere, then I will say
Woher.
woher. I don't have to add another preposition to it. I can just with one word. Now, this sentence in English,
Yeah.
this means where do you come from? See what is my question here? Where from, right? I'm adding it at the end. Getting it, Pallav, Joyce, all of you. Where from? You see, I have to write it precisely here, right? In English, and they are two different words. In German, I just have one thing for it is woher. Can I say woher wohnst du? Does it make sense? Where from are you living? No. It only goes with wo, na? Wo means you're located somewhere. And wohnen is to live. So I can only say, where do you live? Where do you live? Woher comes to Pallav?
Ich comes the Pune.
Mhm. Now remember, think about the table. What was the ending for ish?
Ich komme Pune.
Ich komme. Ich komme aus Pune. Was? Ich komme aus Pune. You come from Pune. Joyce, woher kommst du?
Ich auch kaum. Ich komme auch aus Pune.
Very good. Vaishnavi?
Ich komme aus Pune.
Ich komme aus. Getting it, guys? You remember the table? Right? That table that we just did, conjugation. You need to think about that table. No translation in your mind. So once you have done this, you're sorted, like mostly sorted. You know, if you start thinking in this manner, if you start thinking about that table after your pronoun, you're done. Half of the job is done. Ich komme aus Pune. You just need to remember the Now, pronoun is you're coming out of Pune, right? You're from Pune. From is out, right? I come from Pune. Technically, think technically it makes sense. Ich komme aus Pune. Now, this says, and now also another thing, when somebody uses do in a question, right? Always at least start your answer with ish and try to remember the verb the other person has used. Conjugate, use the same verb. Think about the table, use your preposition, appropriate one, and just a sentence. So let's say I say, hey, where comes to, oh, maybe you don't know the meaning of the entire sentence, but he has asked do. So you at least start with ish. And then if you can think the verb, like use comma, and then the answer will anyway automatically come to you. What wants to, ish. What wants to,
Ich,
yeah, Pallav,
ich wohne Pune.
Ishvona in Pune. Ishvona in Pune, guys. Now you're living there, right? Making sense?
Yeah.
Vaishnavi, who wants to?
Ich wohne in Pune.
You can say Ishvona in Pune or Ishvona in Kharadi, Ishvona in Wagoli. Joyce, who wants to?
Yes.
Ich wohne in Bargaon.
Ishvona in Vadgaon. Good, guys. Now, Welsh Sprachen is completely different. Which language do you speak? This is one word, kind of. So you can say Welsh Sprachen sprechen Sie. I'm switching this into formal now. So see, I have used a different form of expression. This is a verb here, okay?
Right.
Verb is supposed to be at the second place. And now what is the second place in German? I count the words. Wo is the first place. This is a second place. You see, all second, 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 second. This is not second. This again is considered second. Why? Because Welsh Sprache is considered as one word. Because whenever I ask which question, I will always add another noun to it. Hey, which car? Which house? Hey, which color? Which team? Which is always with a noun, right? I can't say, which are you playing? No, I have to say, which team are you playing? So the noun ich spreche. Joyce, welche Sprachen sprechen Sie?
Ich spreche Marathi.
Mhm. Mhm.
Marathi und Englisch.
Marathi, Englisch. Und?
Hindi und
Hindi
what is it
und
called?
ein
Ein
bisschen
bisschen, yeah, ein bisschen Deutsch.
Deutsch. Getting it, guys? I speak, ich spreche. No? Deutsch sprechen. Deutsch. Sprechen is a verb. How do you identify here what is a verb, Pallav, in this sentence? Let's say I didn't know that Welsh Sprache is one. What is a major way to observe what is a verb here and what is a noun?
Endung.
Endung is fine. Okay, so this is getting conjugated according to the formal. So look, see, this is getting conjugated according to the Z. Z is a pronoun. But how do I identify which one is a verb here and which was a noun? Sprache, sprechen. You see?
Position of the verb.
But like let's say I have no idea that Welsh Sprache is one word. But here I'm seeing that hey, Sprache, I can easily get confused, no? Like that, hey, okay, I can consider
That is conjugated, no?
Noun is capital.
that is okay, but I can, let's say I made a mistake with conjugate also. Yeah. Pallav?
Noun is capital, right?
Yes, guys. So you see, remember what we learned? You observe the language first. Okay. Now, Sprache here is with a capital. All the nouns in German, doesn't matter where do they stand in a sentence, they will always be written with a capital letter. Let's say I'm saying, hey, ich fahre Fahren means to drive. Ich fahre mein Auto. You see, what is the noun here?
Auto.
Order.
No? In English, I would write it as Vaishnavi, you're getting it, this one?
Yes.
In
I
English,
am driving an
I'm
auto.
driving my car. No, not auto, car. Auto is a car in German.
Car.
I'm
Okay.
driving my car. My car is a common noun, but I'm saying this, I'm writing it as small letter. It's a common noun. Only if it was a name, I
Yes.
would be saying, I'm driving my Maruti. I think if I write my Maruti Suzuki or my Maruti Alto, then I would be writing it with, because it is a specific one, right?
Yes.
Proper noun. That also we discussed in the first video. Good. So ich spreche Marathi. So you can understand that this is a noun and sprechen is considered verb here. So Sprache means, guys, language, right? Deutsch. So we are learning the language German, which is Deutsch. And country is das Land. What is the name? What is country called of Deutsch, guys?
Das Land.
Das Land. And name of the country, what is Germany called of in German? Deutschland.
Deutschland.
Deutschland. Say it louder. Deutschland.
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 Deutschland. Klar? Bit of it is all. Welche Sprache sprechen Sie, Pallav?
Ich spreche Hindi, Englisch und Deutsch.
Ein bisschen Deutsch.
Ein bisschen Deutsch. What's the meaning of bisschen?
Bisschen is a bit.
A bit.
A bit, guys. Okay, so you can pronounce it after me. Ein bisschen.
Ein bisschen.
Ein bisschen.
Ein bisschen.
Ein bisschen.
Ein bisschen Deutsch.
Ein bisschen
Ein
Deutsch.
bisschen.
A bit. Ein bisschen. It's not a difficult word. A bit. Ein bisschen. Anything which is a small part of something big, like sausage. We have learned that word Würstchen. Sausage is basically Wurst. We learned that word in the first class, right? Wurst, sausage. Small part, something that comes from that sausage or a small part of it is das Würstchen. Same here. Das Würstchen. Like hen. Hen is Hahn. Okay, like a hen. Chicken would be das Hähnchen. Anything small or something big is that we will learn also later. Now, what do we do? Let's, oh, sorry. Now, we did these exercises yesterday, guys. You remember? This one, no? Selina Lang. See the conjugation again?
For common safe from.
You see, Vaishnavi, too confusing here?
Yes.
No?
Yes, it's confusing between.
Yeah, so yesterday, you remember we just did these questions. We heist to this one, guys, Wefraga. Wefraga means W question. So yesterday, what we did is we just matched the column. What do you think the answer to the first question is? Woher kommen Sie, Frau Lang?
Ich komme aus Deutschland.
Ich komme aus Deutschland. Vaishnavi, what is the Antwort from question number second?
Ich wohne in.
Read this once. Try reading this. Welche
How to welche
Sprachen
Sprachen
sprechen
sprechen
Sie?
Sie?
Welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? So that we will learn, guys. Okay, all of it learning. We will read that also right now. Just what is the answer?
Ich sprechen Spanish, English, und Deutsch.
Deutsch. Ich spreche Spanisch, English und Deutsch. Right? So now you got it that
Yes.
A is pronounced as A. Ich spreche Spanisch, Spanisch, Englisch und Deutsch. Wo wohnen Sie, Joyce?
Ich wohne in Frankfurt.
Ich wohne in Frankfurt. Let's substitute these things, these dialogue to ours again, our own information. Wie heißt du, Pallav?
Ich heiße Pallav.
Woher kommst du?
Ich aus
Ich komme.
Pune.
Ich komme aus.
Ich komme aus Pune.
Wo wohnst du?
Ich wohne
Wohne.
in
Wohne.
Pune.
Ich
Ich
wohne.
wo-
Remember that
Ich
this.
wohne Pune.
Now you asked these questions to Joyce.
Wie war das?
These ones.
The B?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Joyce, wie heißt du, Joyce?
That is okay
Ich
now.
heiße Joyce.
That is that Sholay dialogue. Have you seen Sholay? Basanti, तुम्हारा नाम क्या है? No.
Where kommst du?
Ich komme aus Pune.
Und wo wohnst du?
Ich wohne in Vargaushiri.
Danke.
Joyce, fragen Sie Vaishnavi.
Wie heißt du?
Ich heiße Pune, Vaishnavi.
Ich heiße Vaishnavi. Good.
Woher kommst du?
Ich komme Pune,
Aus Pune.
aus Pune.
Aus is out of. No, I'm coming out of Pune.
Ich aus of Pune. Ich aus of Pune.
Ich komme aus Pune.
Ich komme aus Pune. Okay.
So common here is whenever, sorry to interrupt. Okay, Joyce, yeah.
Continue.
Yeah.
No, please just explain.
So how, you remember we have learned the reason why, like if you see this. Just a second. You see, these are the W questions that we discussed yesterday and day before. W questions are the questions that begin with W, open-ended questions, right? They will always be, of course, when a question begins with a W is the first place W. These are all verbs. So in German, I count positions, right? Eins, you don't just have to count till 2, no need to count more. Second, so all the verbs are at the second place and they're the same at the answers also. So this is a very nice thing about the language. If you're asking a W question, put the verb at the second place in your mind also, answer it, put it at second place. 2 rules you have to remember. Conjugate the verb according to the table. First thing, conjugate it and put it at the second place. So let's say if you're speaking, woher kommst du? Ich komm, then you think about the table, ich komme aus Pune. Whatever information you have, you can keep it for the later part. Yeah, choice.
Und wo wohnst du?
Ich wohne Pune.
Wohne in Pune.
Wohne in Pune.
Yeah. See here, ich wohne. We can see the table again, guys, that we had done yesterday also. See. Ich wohne.
Ich wohne.
I is the ending. Du wohnst. Sie wohnt. Sie wohnen. Komme. Du kommst. Sie kommt. Don't say, call it comet. Comet would be if you're adding an E here, right? And there is one verb that we learned, which is basically, what is the verb here? Sein. What is the meaning of sein in English, Pallav?
Fine.
Remember yesterday, to be, no?
To be.
I am Gaurav. You are Pallav. She is Joyce. They are Pallav and Vaishnavi. What is this are verb? Is that the verb are? Is the verb is the verb are? Is the verb am? They're all same, right? They mean the same thing,
Yes.
right? But what is
Almost.
the verb here? Is the verb are or is the verb I or is the verb we are? All the names.
Be verb.
Sorry, I didn't get it. Please repeat it.
Be verb.
Yes. So the verb is to be. I mean, it is basically be, but then in English, we learn everything with to be, right? So when you say the verb is actually to be. You can use this sentence for different, you can also say, I am in Pune, right? I'm using the same verb, you are in Pune. So of course, that the verb sein means to be. So of course, you use it with, this is the verb. So what is the technical translation of ich bin is? When I say ich bin, that means
I am.
I am.
I am.
When I say du bist, that means you are.
You are.
When I say sie ist, that means she is.
Is.
When I say sie sind, that means English
You
doesn't
are.
have a translation. So आप हैं Pallav dash dash dash. Huh? In English, I will again write this as, this can be again, okay, let's say you
Yeah.
are, or yes, I can say she is, she are, or I can say they are. Getting it? This can be singular, you, formal. This can be the third person formal. This can be plural, Two people also I can talk about formally, right?
Yes.
Yes, capital C. English doesn't have that, so it doesn't. I mean, you call in English everybody you only. There is no formal way of speaking to another person. So this to be verb, like in English, this doesn't match any pattern. Why it is written in red here? You're supposed to learn this separately. You're supposed to learn it separately. Ich bin, du bist, sie ist, sie ist, sie ist, sie sind. Yeah?
Yeah.
That, of course, we'll do it so often, you'll definitely remember it. Now let's go to the page number 78. So beyond 75, Vaishnavi, let me show you. This is a workbook. So we do a lot of exercises to practice what we are doing in the class from this workbook also. Okay. Now this is like if you remember in school, we'll have like a course book and then we'll have workbook, especially for mathematics.
Yes.
Where you can just, so this has the same content. Every word that is there in that book is there in this book, nothing more, nothing less. So since we have done the exercise number 4 there, guys, try doing this one. Okay. This exercise, fear A. Have you done it already, guys? Homework that was? Try doing it right now. Wie heißen Sie? So this is basically saying Fragen und Antworten, questions and answers. Ordnen Sie zu. So ordnen is to match. So you're supposed to match these. Now be careful if it's the question has do, answer will also be informal. Vice versa.
I can see.
Give it a try, Vaishnavi. Yeah.
Yes. The first one is actually written. My name is.
So even if the first one is done, we are still supposed to read them louder when we are doing the exercise. I mean, these exercises are just a way of doing things, but we are here for words, no, not exercises. You're supposed to say it louder.
How to pronounce it?
Which one?
Name.
My nama.
My nama ist
Kunza. So when
Kunza.
E comes
Mein
in,
Name
ist Kunza.
ist Kunza.
So when E comes at the end of the word, we pronounce it as mein Name ist Kunza.
Okay. Wo wohnst du?
Yeah. Do it first, all of it, then we will discuss. You can write it down
Wo
also.
wohnst du?
Not wohnst, wohnst. See, there is no E.
Wohnst.
Wo wohnst du?
Wohnst du? Wo wohnst du?
Try doing it on your own, all of it, Vaishnavi, then we'll discuss all of it.
Du means informal.
Informal you, second person. Du means informal you. And
It's option.
yeah, and formal you means Z.
Sie.
Mhm. Fetish means finished. So when you're fetish, you can say fetish. 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 Okay. Vaishnavi fetish. Pallav.
Almost a fetish.
Okay. That's okay. Almost.
So we can start.
Almost in German is fast. Fast fetish.
Fast fetish.
Okay, Joyce, lesen is to read. Lesen Sie eins und zwei, 1 and 2.
Wie heißen Sie? D. Antwort ist D. Mein Name ist Kunze.
Ja. Wie heißen Sie? Mein Name ist Kunze.
Wo wohnst du? Mein Name ist Kunze D. 2. Wo wohnst du? Und die Antwort ist, what have I written? Yeah, in Berlin und du? G, that is G.
You can read directly also. Wo wohnst du? In Berlin und du. Yeah, good.
Okay.
3 und 4 means 3 and 4, Pallav.
Yeah. Woher kommen Sie? Aus Ireland und Sie?
Aus Irland.
Irland und Sie?
We will yes.
Sprechen Sie English und Deutsch?
Welche Sprachen sprechen Sie?
Sprachen
Remember, we have
sprechen Sie.
slightly discussed when do we say it, when do we pronounce it ak, when do we pronounce it esh.
Yeah, I remember. Sorry.
So this will always be ish, esh, ish, esh. Yeah? However, sorry, this, if A comes, any other letter comes from before this, like especially these, you will pronounce it as kha, no? Like sprachha, like brauchen or book. Sprachha, book. Brauchen means to need, or kochen. Kochen is to cook. All the other, any time, if there is any other letter which is before this, you'll pronounce this as ksh. This is kha. Okay, all kha. Machen, ach, sprache, book, auk. Here it's all sh. Like expression, no? Like ish, like now. How do you pronounce this?
Busher.
Busher. No, you see, when I mention it's only four of these, only four of these, not even with the dots one. Okay. Welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? Englisch und Deutsch. Fünf, lesen Sie fünf, please read 5 and 6, Vaishnavi.
Where bist du? Aus Brasili, du und du.
That would be, is that the same where as English where, or what is that word for where? This is
Why?
where. Where means who.
Oh.
So where here.
Emila.
Yeah. Where means who in German. Where means English who. And wo means where in English. So.
Okay. So it is option C. Emilia.
Emilia.
Yes.
Emilia. Say it.
Emilia.
Yeah. You can also pronounce, guys, this R as A so that you don't get confused with English where. If you say where bist du,
Where?
that sounds very much like English, no? So you get confused. Here you can pronounce it as where. Where bist du?
Where?
Emilia.
Where bist du? Emily.
Emilia.
Emilia.
No? I is there. Sechs, lesen Sie sechs, 6, read it, Vaishali, 6 and 7 also.
Wo wohnen Sie?
Wo wohnen
It
Sie?
is
So in German,
wohnen Sie.
basically, every letter is important, guys. So you're supposed to speak till the end. Okay, every letter, doesn't matter where the letter is stood or standing. You know, you're supposed to speak it louder. Wo wohnen Sie?
Wo wohnen Sie? Aus Berlin
That would
und
be
du.
aus. That would be coming from. And for the word coming from, what is the W question for that? Woher, no?
Woher?
So this wo wohnen Sie would be?
It's Emila.
9 in Stuttgart. That I was just showing it. Wo wohnen Sie? Ich wohne in Stuttgart. You remember? Wo means where? Getting it, Vaishali? Sorry, Vaishnavi. Ich wohne in Stuttgart. I live in. You see, this wo means where. Sieben, woher kommst du? Was ist das? Pallav?
Aus Brasilien. Und du?
That is correct. See, do. The verb common is matching with the verb common. Sorry, there's no common. Did you get the last two, Vaishnavi? Wo wohnen Sie?
It
Woher
will be
kommst du?
wo wohnen Sie?
So she's saying that in Stuttgart, and she's also asking the other person and with you. This is also formal, right? So when somebody asks you a formal question, you ask them back a formal question. No, not, it can't be Sie, du. At times, I mean, like not, it doesn't have to be fixed, but yeah, here, no. So the answer to woher kommst du ist aus Brasilien und du. मैं ब्राजील से आया हूँ and wo wohnen Sie ist in Stuttgart. Und Sie. Getting it, guys? Pallav? Joyce? Vaishnavi?
Yes, sir.
Fear Bay. V means how. Where means who, right? Wo
Yes.
means
Where?
very good. Woher means where from.
Where from?
Where from?
Fill in the blanks, guys. Okay, so you have the questions and the answers. I know here you write the Ich bin Emma writer. Answers are these in front of them. Use W questions there. Ergänzen Sie means fill in the blanks, right? Ergänzen Sie W-Fragen. Fill in the blanks. W-Fragen. W-Fragen is W questions. Fertig, Leute. Finished?
Yeah.
Lesen Sie eins und zwei means first and second choice.
Ich bin Emma, Writer. Und wer sind Sie? Ich bin Bitter Müller.
Beata.
Ich wohne
Beata Müller.
Beata Müller.
Beata.
Ich wohne, sorry,
Beata
Beata
Müller.
Müller. Ich wohne in Salzburg. Wo wohnen Sie?
Gut.
Auch in Salzburg.
Three, Pallav.
Yeah. Ich bin Peter. Where heißt du?
We.
Where heißt du?
We. So where only goes with best. Where best to. And this is we. IE will always sound like E. Long, a little body E, like we. Say it all of you guys. We.
Wie heißt du?
Like
Wie.
we heist do. Like Z heist or we heist do. Like Z. No? V, Z. No? Antwort? Answer?
Woher kommst du? Aus Deutschland.
Woher kommst du? Aus Deutschland.
Deutschland.
Deutsch. Oi. Say oi. Deutschland.
Deutschland.
Yeah. Open your mouth like Deutschland.
Deutschland.
So the German words are very much like oi, like, like it's like a harsh language, like Deutschland, oi, au. Like it makes a lot of sounds like this, Deutschland. Good. Let's do some this last exercise, guys. Okay. What do you think? The conjugation heißen, wohnen, kommen, sein. Ich heiße, du?
Heist.
Heißt.
Erzi, Erzi,
Heißen.
heißt. Not only T. Sie,
Heißen.
Heißen.
heißen. Ich
Wohnen.
Wohn.
wohne. Du
Wohn.
Wohn.
wohnst.
Wohn.
Sie
Wohn.
wohnt.
Wohnen.
Wohnt. Sie wohnen. Ich,
Komme.
comma,
Komm.
comma. No? Not komme, comma. Like a a
Komma.
bit of a sound. Yeah. Comma. Du kommst.
Komme.
Sie
Kommen.
kommt. This is completely different. As sein cannot be learned with any other pattern, so you're supposed to learn it separately. Ich bin. Ich. Ich bin. Du
Bist.
Du
bist.
bist.
Bist. Ich bin Gaurav. Du bist Pallav. Sie
Ist.
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 Sie
Sind.
sind. You have some pronouns here. We can do this quickly also. You have some pronouns here. Vaishnavi, can you try 1 and 2? Ergänzen Sie.
Ich.
This one.
Paul. Pommes.
Kommt.
Aus. How to pronounce the last
Say it first. Paul
word?
kommt aus Österreich.
Ostrich.
Österreich.
Aus. Weiß.
Österreich.
Paul count aus Österreich.
Österreich. Good.
Weiß. Weiß.
Next line.
Österreich.
Österreich means Austria. The country Austria next to Germany. So they say it East Reich. Dash wohnt in Innsbruck.
Ash wohnt in Innsbruck.
Innsbruck. See, S is also there. You're reading it from the phone, no? Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Er wohnt in Innsbruck. Er or er.
Er wohnt in Innsbruck.
Innsbruck. Zwei,
Innsbruck.
zwei also, two also.
Why heißt du?
Good. Wie heißt du? No? Wie.
Wie heißt du?
Good. Maria und du. Drei,
Maria und
Joyce. Du. Maria und du. Wie heißt du? Maria. Und du?
Das ist Claudia. Sie kommt aus Deutschland.
Which sie is this? From
She.
the
Third person.
But in this box, is it the capital one or the small
The
one?
smaller.
Right? Vier, Pallav, 4 and 5, 4 and 5.
Wo wohnen Sie?
In Berlin. Und Sie? 5, Pallav.
Berlin und Sie. Hallo, ich bin Lucy. Luisa.
Ich bin Luisa. All good, guys, so far? Now just try conjugating, making this table again. You can make this a regular practice. So at least for now, I know it's boring, but you can also do it verbally, right? Like, I mean, you can be parked at the signal, waiting for the signal to conjugate the verb. It takes like 5 seconds, I think 6 seconds for one. Scheiße, du heißt. Because once you have remembered at least this many, then it will become easier for the more verbs that we learn. So tomorrow we'll do the letters, okay, and some more nouns and stuff. Not tomorrow, Monday. We can take it slow this week, okay, like how it is.
Tomorrow we are not meeting.
Tomorrow we don't. Like I can, if you guys want, I mean, if you guys want, we can discuss it. If you guys want it, we can have it. Let's discuss
So
it in
it's
the group.
Gaurav, just a request if you can send this recording because today actually there were a lot of new learning. So I want to review.
I'll send it to you. Like so, as soon as it gets processed, like I'll send it to you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sure.
Okay. Good. So let's discuss about tomorrow later, guys. Okay. Then we'll, according to everybody, then we can decide. Tschüss. Schönen
Tschüss.
Abend.
Ciao.
Good evening.